when people wore pajamas and lived like slow. When laws were stern and justice stood, and people were behaving like they ought to good. There lived a little boy who was misled by a...
Welcome back, everyone. Continuing on with our Sealant Madness series, where we put two quality sealants head-to-head on the same panel. Our two contestants include Jax Wax, Shield Refresh. Shield Refresh is a spray sealant, an SiO2 infused spray sealant. Can be used for coated vehicles, for a sacrificial barrier, can also be used as a standalone sealant, and that will be going up against the Griot Garage one-step sealant, which we took a closer look at yesterday. So we'll put these both head-to-head on the same panel. But before we do, I just want to show you there is no protection whatsoever on the area of the panel we're going to be applying these sealants. Just to make sure, we're going to go over it once again with an IP wipe. I use both of these sealants. The Griot Garage is old school. It's been around for quite some time. It is a sealant. It also has micro abrasives, and I showed you yesterday what it can do in the previous video. You can revert back to that if you missed it. Jax Wax Shield can be used as a standalone, but I use it for a sacrificial barrier or a sealant to protect the coatings. They have an excellent line of coatings and a pretty good product line. Just like all the products line, there are some I really favor, some I don't. So on the left side here, we're going to apply the Jax Wax Shield Refresh. As you notice, this reacts pretty much like any other spray sealant or spray wax or even a quick detailer. Goes on real thin, real easy to apply, real easy to wipe off. You don't need to wait. There's no time in between. Just grab a microfiber and keep massaging the product into the panel until the transfer solution has evaporated. After a good shake, we will be applying the one-step sealant to the right-hand side of your screen. I do now have both sections labeled and ready to go. You will have to pay attention. This will be a long, very close, hard-fought battle till the end. And I will be relying on you to push the winner on through to the next round. You will have to rely on my feedback for 2 or maybe more of the tests. Take all of it into consideration. And let me know at the end of the video, down in the comments section, which one is going on, moving on to the next round. The one step is a cream formula, and when you put it on by hand, it is a little difficult to get off if you put it on thick. If you use a DA and take advantage of the diminishing abrasives, the micro abrasives, much easier to remove. But we're going to put a nice thick layer on both sides, and we're going to let them dwell. We're going to let them cure the rest of the day. I'm going to go do some work. We'll come back later in the evening and beat these two sealants up, see which one's the winner. Okay, so just after a little bit more than 9 hours for the two sealants to cure, we're going to remove the tape. I'll grab the camera, bring you in. I want you to take a look at both sections. Does one look better than the other? Is one more glossy? Is one darker, deeper, richer? As they both have had a chance to cure before we start to beat them up, that will be the first test. Before we get started, we'll mist a little bit of water on both sections. It's pretty interesting to see. Usually both sealants have a different way of beating moisture. This is just mostly for aesthetics. We're going to run some free-flowing water over both sections of the panel here in just a second. So here you just want to take a close look and see if one side is a bit more hydrophobic than the other side, repelling free-flowing water. We'll be doing the exact same scratch test we have done in the previous videos using some light steel wool. Does one side deflect or absorb the scratches better than another side? I can tell you both sides do a decent job protecting from very light scratching. We'll see that, and I will point that out at the end of the video when both sealants are finally removed from the chemicals we're going to torture them with. So the next test here is the adhesive test. How does it protect your surface from adhesives? The Jax Wax side pulled off no problem, but I'm going to tell you here, I really had to pull to get the duct tape removed from the Griot's garage side. All right, moving on. How do the sealants protect from maybe overspray or a little bit of graffiti? This is another test. You're going to have to rely on my feedback, and I can tell you it was pretty much exactly the same on both panels, with the ease of being able to remove that overspray or graffiti. Okay, the area's been cleaned. Let me mist a little bit of water on there, and then we'll come in and take a look. We'll take a look at the sealants up close, see if any of the characteristics of protection have changed since the beginning. Okay, time to step it up a bit. Let's bring in the Biotech Acid Wheel Cleaner. We'll dump a bit on both sides, let it dwell for a few seconds, rinse it off, and take a look. All right, let's come in close once again, see if we can see any changes in the sealant itself. Continuing on with the torturing of these sealants, we're going to use high-test gasoline. The acid wheel cleaner and the gasoline are extreme. However, in less concentration, when you're cleaning your wheels, if there's a breeze, a little bit of mist from spraying the wheel cleaner onto your wheels could go up onto the side of your car. Or when filling with gasoline, you could leak some down out of the nozzle and down the side of your car. So if the sealants fight off the two chemicals in this test, they will do fine out in the real world. So we're going to rinse off the area, both sections. I'm going to mist it again. Let's take a look and see how the characteristics of the sealant and its protection look now. Pretty sure you could pick this up through the camera, but there are some chinks in the armor now forming on both sealants. One a little bit more than the other, but we're not done yet. Purple Power, pH 10. We're going to grab the wash mitt and spread out some of those alkaline salt cleaners on the two sections. We'll give it a thorough rinse, and we're going to keep going. But before we do move on, now that it's dry, I want to bring you in. You can see the outline of both sealants. One is a little bit more faint than the other, but they're both still there. Okay, both sealants are weakened. Let's go with an IP solution. 25% isopropyl alcohol, the rest just purified water. Next up, Purple Power, straight up, no dilution whatsoever. Getting a bit harder to pick it up through the camera now, but the outlines indeed are still there. Both sealants are still fighting, hanging on till the end. What a matchup. Both also still beating a little bit, trying to protect the best it can. As you take notice now, not quite as aggressive fighting off free-flowing water, but definitely the sealants, weak as they are now, are better than no protection at all. Let's finish them off. Citral 266. This is the sealant and the wax killer here. Not only will I spray it on, I'm going to agitate it with a rough terry cloth. Then we're going to rinse it off thoroughly. Okay, both sealants have had it. They're pretty much non-existent. No outlines whatsoever. And I want you to take a look. The scratch test we did all through both sections. You can see now that the sealants are gone, the scratches are pretty much non-existent. They did a great job absorbing the scratches, however, not letting them penetrate down onto the surface. So, let me know in the comments section which moves on.
Situation. I was talking to this girl from the U.S. nation. The way that I met her was on tour at a concert. She had long hair and a short miniskirt. I just got on stage dripping.